Hey, welcome to the Sunday preview for this August 31st, the end of August. We have another reading from the Gospel of Luke, chapter 14. And it says, on a Sabbath, Jesus went to dine at the home of one of the leading Pharisees, and people there were observing him carefully. He told a parable to those who had been invited, noticing how they were choosing the places of honor at the table. When you are invited by someone to a wedding banquet, do not recline at the table in the place of honor. A more distinguished guest than you may have been invited by him, and the host who invited both of you may approach, and you say, "Give your place to this man," and then you would proceed with embarrassment to take the lowest place. Rather, when you are invited, go and take the lowest place, so that when the host comes to you, he may say, "My friend, move up to a higher position." Then you will enjoy the esteem of your companions at the table. For everyone who exalts himself will be humbled, but the one who humbles himself will be exalted. And he said to the host who invited him, when you hold a lunch or a dinner, do not invite your friends or your brothers or relatives or wealthy neighbors, in case they may invite you back and you have repayment. Rather, when you hold a banquet, invite the poor, the crippled, the lame, and the blind. Blessed indeed will you be because of their inability to repay you. You will be repaid at the resurrection of the righteous. The Gospel of the Lord. I always imagine this passage was at the time when Jesus, going around preaching as a sort of rabbi, was really stirring up the crowds, and he was the buzz and the talk of town. And so the leading Pharisee there wanted to get Jesus over to his house to show off that he was in with this new guy who was all the buzz, who was going viral, as we might say today. And Jesus knew that this was going to be an occasion to teach everybody about vanity and humility. You know, the Pharisee wanted Jesus there at his house so he could show off. You know, the people probably at the banquet were all vying to be close to the Pharisee and Jesus at the head table. And probably that Pharisee chased a few of his friends who were less favored to the lowest places, and Jesus saw all this going on. It's that kind of dynamic when we're all trying to curry favor with a celebrity. And Jesus kind of pops that balloon and says, it's all just vanity. You know, be humble. Be unassuming. Don't play all these political games just to move yourself up, but rather real virtue. The real meaning of the Old Testament law is to love the poor and the humble, the uneducated, the people who are nobody, and to exalt them, invite them to your banquets, and you'll have your place in heaven. It's great advice for us today too, because it's in human nature. We do the same thing today. There's nothing about their culture that was special. You know, we do it all the time, almost without even thinking. But real humility is following Jesus, identifying with those who aren't popular, who aren't wealthy, who aren't any big celebrity, but rather be friends with all and love them all equally.